So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are so glad you are here with us because today we are unpacking something that is uh, honestly pretty foundational if you spend any time trying to get noticed on the internet.
Yeah, which is basically all of us at this point, right?
Exactly. I mean, for the last 2 decades, the strategy was so simple. You'd build this brightly lit stage, you'd buy the biggest megaphone you could possibly afford, and you just shout your keywords into the void.
Right, the classic broadcast model. You controlled the stage, you controlled the lighting, and you just expected the audience to sit quietly and listen.
But, you know, the audience isn't sitting quietly anymore. They've completely left the main auditorium.
They're gone.
Yeah, they've wandered off into these small, kind of messy, unfiltered rooms to just talk amongst themselves. And what we are looking at today in the source material is a complete rewiring of how information is discovered online.
It's massive. We're moving from search engine optimization, or SEO, to answer engine optimization, or AEO.
Right, AEO. And the core premise here, the thing you really need to understand, is that recent data deals, like the massive one between Google and Reddit, are not just some temporary algorithmic trend.
No, not at all. Community content is literally becoming a structural pillar of how search engines build their answers.
It's wild. So if the old SEO approach was that stage with the megaphone, this new AEO community approach is entirely different.
It's like sneaking into the world's largest, most brutally honest focus group, right? You just take a seat in the back corner and you take meticulous notes on what people are saying when they think the brands aren't listening.
Exactly. But, to actually harness this power without getting completely burned, we have to look at the psychology behind it. Like, why do these highly advanced AI answer engines care so much about messy forum data?
Well, because it's the only thing users actually trust right now.
Wow, really? The only thing?
Pretty much, yeah. In this new answer era, users are actively rejecting polished brand PR. They are so exhausted by these perfectly crafted marketing brochures that promise the world.
I mean, I definitely feel that as a consumer.
Right. What people are demanding, and what the answer engines are therefore prioritizing, are lived experiences. They want blunt comparisons, they want real trade-offs, edge cases.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second, because this is where I think a lot of traditional marketers are going to hit a wall.
Oh, absolutely.
So imagine I run an espresso machine company, okay?
Okay, you're the espresso boss.
Yeah,
Huh?
and I have spent like $2 million on this beautifully shot, legally approved ad campaign, and it highlights our new state-of-the-art steam wand.
That's very fancy.
It is. But are you telling me that a prospective buyer trusts a random anonymous forum user named, let's say, Potato King 99
Yeah.
more than my billion-dollar brand's official messaging?
Yes, completely, 100%.
That is insane to me.
It sounds insane, but the mechanics of why that happens come down to a really fascinating psychological driver.
Okay, break that down for us.
So, when people are making a decision-oriented search, especially for a high-ticket item like your fancy espresso machine, they aren't actually trying to find the mathematically perfect feature set.
They aren't.
No. There's this great insight from the research. Their primary emotional driver is actually about reducing regret.
Reducing regret. That is, wow, that completely changes how you view search behavior.
It totally flips it upside down. Think about the physical feeling of buyer's remorse. You drop $2,000 on this machine, you bring it home, and you realize the steam wand clogs every single time you use oat milk.
Oh, that sinking feeling. You just feel foolish.
Exactly. You feel foolish. So when users are searching, they are trying to avoid that exact feeling. Your marketing department naturally has a financial incentive to hide the oat milk flaw.
Right. We're not going to put that on the billboard.
But Potato King 99 does not have that incentive. His blunt honesty about that flaw reduces the searcher's anxiety about hidden traps.
I see. So community conversations basically create public proof.
Yes, and public proof is the modern currency of trust.
So if my espresso brand is completely absent from the specific forums where these regret-reducing questions are being asked, I'm basically just letting someone else define my product's narrative.
Which is an incredibly dangerous game today. If you aren't in the room to provide context, you are entirely at the mercy of the crowd.
Okay, which brings us to the most notoriously protected room on the entire internet.
Reddit.
Reddit. Since users are desperate for this unvarnished honesty, platforms like Reddit have become ground zero for this new AEO landscape.
Oh, absolutely, ground zero.
Because it's question-driven, it's brutally honest, and it is incredibly rich in what the data calls long-tail intent.
Yeah, let's define long-tail intent for a second, because it is crucial here.
Go for it.
We aren't talking about broad searches like someone just typing best espresso machine.
Right.
Long-tail intent means highly specific, multi-layered questions. Something like, does the X500 steam wand clog if I only use barista blend oat milk in a humid climate?
That is painfully specific.
But that level of niche detail is exactly where Reddit thrives.
But stepping into that arena as a brand is an absolute minefield. I mean, Reddit users are fiercely protective of their space.
They will punish a brand that shows up just to sell, and the consequences are, honestly, brutal and permanent.
Yeah, they can spot corporate speak from a mile away. You cannot drive by links. You can't use promo language.
Press release tone, none of that.
And whatever you do, you cannot pretend to be a customer.
Oh no, that is the ultimate sin.
The research talks about this tactic called using sock puppets. Creating fake user accounts to hype up your own product.
It's the worst idea.
To me, a brand infiltrating a forum with a sock puppet is like wearing a terrible, cheap disguise to a neighborhood block party where everyone already knows each other.
Yes.
You just walk in wearing a fake mustache, holding a skateboard, saying, "How do you do, fellow consumers? Have you heard about the amazing synergies of this espresso machine?"
It is so insulting to the audience's intelligence, and it destroys your credibility instantly. When a brand gets outed for using a sock puppet, the reputational damage costs more than every marketing win you've ever had on that platform combined.
Because you've violated the core rule of the community, which is authenticity.
Exactly.
So the disguise is out, the megaphone is out. How does a brand actually participate in these spaces?
Well, the source material outlines a really fascinating shift in mindset here. The most successful strategy isn't trying to be a company voice, it's becoming a useful character.
A useful character. I love that framework.
Think of yourself as the helpful librarian of your industry. You show up to help, not to pitch.
Right.
You answer questions clearly, you share checklists, you provide decision rules, you even acknowledge your competitors when they are genuinely a better fit for a specific user's edge case.
Admitting a competitor might be better for someone feels so counterintuitive to traditional sales. Like, I can't imagine pitching that to a VP of sales.
It does feel weird, but it massively boosts your credibility. If you tell a user, honestly, if you only ever drink dark roasts, our competitor's machine is probably a better buy. The next time you recommend your own product, the community actually believes you.
Because you've proven you aren't just a show.
Exactly. But operating this way requires strict governance.
The guardrails. Because a helpful character can easily go rogue or just get dragged into a messy internet fight.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
You need absolute clarity on the rules of engagement. What are your approved topics? What are your no-go topics?
Right.
You must have rules dictating a helpful, non-defensive tone. You need clear escalation protocols if there are legal or safety issues. And most importantly, you need a do not engage list.
The troll protocol.
Yes.
Because some threads are just black holes. No matter how perfectly you respond, you are going to take a hit. You just have to know when to close the laptop and walk away.
Exactly. Just walk away.
Okay, so let's say we've navigated the minefield. We have our governance in place. We are operating as a trusted, useful character. How do we systemize this?
Right, because you can't just do this randomly.
Yeah, how do we turn these one-off forum interactions into actual measurable assets for our brand?
You have to build a machine. Specifically, what the research calls a community-to-content loop.
Okay, a community-to-content loop.
This is how you transform the community from this scary, unpredictable chat room into your brand's personal R&D lab. It's a continuous 5-step workflow.
Okay, let's walk through those steps. We'll stick with our espresso machine company.
Perfect. So, step 1 is listen. You aren't just looking at Reddit. You're scraping YouTube comments, TikTok Q&As, Discord servers.
Niche coffee forums.
Exactly. You are looking for those top recurring questions and anxieties.
Okay, then step 2 is classify. We take those raw questions and tag them by intent or persona.
Right, like is this a troubleshooting issue? Is it a pricing objection? Is it a feature comparison?
Makes sense. And then step 3 is produce. And this feels like the crucial part.
It is the absolute core of the loop. You turn those classified questions into actual content, what we call answer pages.
But wait, we aren't just writing those old, bloated 2,000-word SEO blog posts filled with fluff and recipes, right?
No, absolutely not. Answer engines hate fluff.
Okay, good.
They are designed to extract direct answers. The technical mechanism here is that large language models, the AI that's actually powering these new search engines, they digest structured data much more efficiently than big blocks of prose.
So what formats are we actually producing then?
You want to build highly specific AEO-friendly formats. So instead of a long narrative, you create a choose A if decision rule.
Ah, okay. Like choose machine A if you drink milk-based drinks. Choose machine B if you only drink pure espresso.
Exactly. Or you do a tight 5-bullet mini comparison.
Checklists are good too, right?
Yes. You build checklists, like 3 things to check before buying a dual boiler machine. You build myth versus reality tables. You map out troubleshooting trees.
So if the Steam wand does this, do that.
Right. We're basically spoon-feeding the AI the exact structure it wants to display to a user. You're doing the synthesis work for the engine.
That is so smart.
You can even use a comment to FAQ format.
What's that?
It's where you give a highly detailed, helpful answer to a specific user on Reddit, and then you immediately archive that exact response as an official FAQ on your own website.
Oh, that's brilliant. Which leads perfectly into step 4, distribute.
Right.
We take that clean, structured answer and push it back into the community, maybe as a short video explainer or a quick infographic, but without spamming them, obviously.
Obviously. And finally, step 5 is measure. You track if that piece of content actually moved the needle.
Got it. Listen, classify, produce, distribute, measure.
But, and this is a massive but, there is a ticking clock on this entire loop.
Really? How fast do we have to move?
If you collect these insights and they just sit in a marketing backlog for 2 months, the loop dies. The internet moves on. You have to be turning these questions into structured answers within 2 weeks, or you're just hoarding data you will never actually use.
Okay, here is where I really need to push back, though.
Let's hear it.
Let's say my espresso brand executes this perfectly. We build the loop, we publish the checklists, we are the most helpful librarian on the internet.
You're doing great.
But then I go and look at my analytics dashboard, and my website traffic is totally flat. My follower count hasn't spiked at all. Every metric I've been taught to care about says this strategy is a total failure.
Right, and you're going to panic, but that's because you are using a 2015 measuring stick for a 2026 reality.
Okay, fair.
Measuring community success through followers, likes, or even raw website traffic is the biggest trap in the AEO era. Followers do not predict answer engine impact.
But that feels almost heretical. I mean, the entire point of the internet for the last 20 years was driving traffic to your domain.
It was. But answer engines are fundamentally changing the destination. Think about how an AI search summary works today. The user types in a complex question. The engine doesn't just hand them a list of 10 blue links and say, good luck, go read these websites.
Right, it doesn't do that anymore.
No, the engine reads the websites for them, synthesizes the information, and prints the answer directly on the search results page.
So the user never actually needs to click through to my website.
Often, they don't. Which means traffic is no longer the primary leading indicator of success. The new definition of winning is something called language ownership.
Language ownership. Let's break that down. What does that actually mean?
Well, if you run that community to content loop perfectly, you are capturing the exact phrasing of your customers' anxieties, right?
Yeah.
And you're creating those structured myth versus reality tables and decision rules. When the answer engine crawls the web to build its AI summary, it recognizes your structured content as the most authoritative, clear response available.
So the AI literally absorbs my framework. It uses my 5-bullet checklist to answer the user's question directly on the results page.
Yes. You aren't just ranking for a keyword anymore. You are dictating the language the engine uses to describe the solution.
Wow.
That is the ultimate digital real estate. The engine's response is shaped by your expertise before a single click ever happens.
But okay, how do we actually measure that if we can't measure traffic? Like, how do I prove to my boss that language ownership is actually happening?
You adopt an AEO social scorecard.
Okay.
Instead of vanity metrics, you track question intelligence. Like, how many net new recurring community questions did your team capture this week? Are you uncovering new competitor weaknesses from forum complaints?
Ah, I see. And you also track visibility and authority. Like, are we getting organic brand mentions in these niche communities?
Exactly. When someone asks about Steam wands, do 3 other users naturally recommend our brand because we've been so helpful in the past?
And then I assume you measure the actual AEO outcomes.
Yes. Specifically, you track citation changes.
Define a citation change for us, just so we're clear. A citation change is when an answer engine's AI overview swaps out a competitor's source link and replaces it with your link because your structured answer was deemed more relevant.
Oh, that's huge.
It's direct proof that your authority is overriding the competition in the AI's brain. You also track lifts in branded search like. Are more people suddenly Googling your specific espresso machine model after you dominated a Reddit thread?
This all sounds amazing, but also incredibly labor-intensive. How does a brand even begin to pivot their entire operation to do this without just getting totally overwhelmed?
The secret is you don't try to boil the ocean on day one. You implement a strict 30, 60, 90-day build.
Okay, walk me through the first 30 days.
In the first 30 days, you just pick 3 specific communities. That's it. You assign one person to capture the top 20 questions each week, group them into themes, and publish just 3 helpful answer-style posts.
So you're really just establishing the listening habit first.
Exactly, just get the muscle working. Then, by days 31 to 60, you start turning those insights into what the data calls evidence assets on your website.
Right. And an evidence asset isn't a sales page with a big buy now button.
No, not at all. It is a neutral, highly factual resource, like a detailed technical breakdown or an unvarnished comparison guide. It exists purely to prove a point and serve as a credible citation for the answer engine.
And that's when you build that lightweight dashboard to track the citation changes.
Yes. And finally, by days 61 to 90, you scale the machine. You introduce something called a topic kit process.
A topic kit. What goes into that?
A topic kit is essentially a predefined bundle of answers, checklists, and evidence assets revolving around one specific customer pain point.
Ah, so instead of scrambling to write a response every single time the oat milk steam wand issue comes up,
Yeah.
your team already has a deployable kit ready to go.
Right. It systematizes the helpfulness.
It builds a bridge between the wild, unfiltered chaos of the community and the structured, authoritative environment of your website.
Exactly.
So if we pull all of this together, this entire shift really boils down to one simple, albeit incredibly difficult, philosophy. Show up to help, not to pitch.
It requires profound discipline. But the companies that realize the signal is the asset, that listening and structuring answers is way more valuable than shouting features, they are the ones who are going to survive this transition.
Yeah. And to you listening to this deep dive right now, whether you are a founder trying to protect your brand's reputation, or a marketer prepping for your next big strategy meeting, or honestly just a curious learner trying to figure out why the internet feels so different lately, this shift affects you.
It affects everyone.
Helpfulness is the new algorithm. The internet has basically developed an immune system against self-serving corporate behavior. Salesy pitches get banned by moderators, they get buried by users, and they get ignored by the AI.
They're just filtered out.
But the brands that act as useful characters, the ones that actively reduce our regret, they are the ones earning the citations and they earning the trust.
It's a better internet, honestly. But, looking at the trajectory of this technology, it does raise a rather massive existential question about the future of the internet.
Oh, for sure. We are building these incredibly powerful answer engines that feed entirely on the messy, authentic interactions of real human beings.
Right.
But if those answer engines eventually get so good at reading, extracting, and summarizing all these community conversations,
Yeah.
to the point that everyday users never actually need to visit the forums themselves.
Right. They just read the AI summary.
Exactly. If that happens, who will be left to ask and answer the brutally honest questions that fuel the engine in the first place?
Now, that is the real question.